Start.
Hairy fairy, I'm a fairy. I am honest. I've got all the right things. I've got a pink frilly dress. I've a pair of sparkly boots, a sack of fairy dust, a pair of gold wings, and a magic wand to whisk in the air. But it's a big but. I'm very hairy indeed. It's just so unfair. Well, you can have a hairy dog, or a hairy horse, or a hairy gorilla. But a hairy fairy, I don't think so. Or I didn't think so until the fairy queen sent me to. Let's begin at the beginning. I started off as a tooth fairy. You know, when a child has lost a tooth, he puts it under his pillow at night. A tooth fairy creeps on upstairs, nips into his bedroom, and swaps the tooth for money. It was a good job but the fairy queen said I might frighten the children, so I got the sack. I was a Christmas tree fairy next. I was sent to live with Mr. and Mrs. Blair. They got a big Christmas tree and put tinsel and glass balls on the branches. They put fairy lights on too, and then they stuck me on top. But Mrs. Blair said that a hairy fairy looked all wrong. So that was the end of that. Then the fairy queen sent me to the hairdresser. He looked at me in an old way. Hadn't he seen a hairy fairy before? But he started to snip. I sat in that hairdresser's chair all day. There was hair on the floor, hair in my lap, hair on the chair. Things went all right for a week or so. But then the hair started to grow back thicker than before.
Oh, that's a problem, isn't it?
What's thick mean?
Thick means hairs were thin, and then thick means they were getting stronger.
The fairy queen was in despair. She didn't know what to do with me. Then she had a postcard from Father Christmas. He lives in the far north, as you know, and he couldn't get any fairies to help him with the presents, as most of them can't stand the snow and the frost. But that's not a problem for a hairy fairy. We hairy fairies don't feel the cold at all.
Okay.
I spend my days wrapping presents, and FC pays me.
Father Christmas. F for Father, C for Christmas.
And Father Christmas pays me very well for it. In fact, I'm almost a millionaire. Not bad for a hairy fairy.
Wow, that's a good story. Okay,
Read these.
now the questions. A hairy fairy had what color of dress? Red spotty dress, a short black dress, a pink frill dress. What was the color of and style of the dress?
Really dress.
Oh, pink frilly dress. The tooth fairy swapped the tooth for some sweets, money, or a storybook.
Money.
Mrs. Blair said that a hairy fairy looked fantastic, all wrong, or very silly.
All wrong.
The fairy queen sent him to the hairdresser, the shop, or the zoo.
The hairdresser.
A hairy fairy is very poor, very rich, very unhappy at the end.
Very unhappy at the end.
The hairy fairy was not happy with Father Christmas helping in wrapping presents,
Very poor.
or was very poor.
Very rich.
What was the millionaire thing?
Very poor.
Millionaires are very rich. See? I'm almost a millionaire. It means I have a lot of money. So, he was very
Rich.
rich. Well done. So, that's the end of the story, Hairy Fairy.